Thank you. Um, let's look at Tzav. Looking at these arcane practices of our ancestors as they prepared to give sacrifices, the korbanot in the temple, and even before the temple, it's sometimes hard to think, how is this relevant today? But the central question that seems to go through all of it is, how do we access holiness and walk it into the world? How do we serve the holy in this generation, in this time? How do we translate the rituals of the sacrificial system into our practice today? So here's a rather whimsical suggestion. Let's not translate the word korban, sacrifice, at all. We can just understand the word korban as core bond. It is our core bond. This isn't really so far-fetched because the word for sacrifice, as I said before, means drawing near, closeness, family members, things that are really dear to us and close to us, and that these rituals were to strengthen that connection. Another validation of understanding mitzvah and tzav as connection rather than just command. So what is your korban today? What is the thing that you do the most, the thing that you hold most in reverence? How do you walk God into the world? When Jews pray, we direct our prayers to the God of the patriarchs and the matriarchs, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, God of Rachel, God of Leah. We don't just lump them together and just repeat the name. We keep repeating the litany of God of with each name. Why? When we recite this chain of forebears, we embed ourselves in the ancient lineage. We lean on the merit of our ancestors, the zechut avot, and we borrow from their virtue as a way to give strength to our own petitions. Most importantly, this litany recognizes each generation's challenge to forge its unique connection with the holy. This indicates that each of our ancestors may have had not only a different relationship, but a completely different understanding of God, a different core bond that is right for the time in which that ancestor lived. At the end of the Shema, the full Shema, which includes the Ve'ahavta and several more paragraphs, the leader of the service says, Adonai Elohechem Emet. Your God is true. However you experience God, that is the true God. This adds our name to the lineage, and it gives us a lot of personal autonomy in finding in terms of finding our own true God among the many, many names and understandings of God. So what is this name of God, this core bond for you today? Shabbat Hagadol, Shabbat Tzav, no King's Day. For me, it is embedded in the Shema. Let me just share my screen for a second. Here we have the Shema as it is written in the Torah and as it is written in the prayer book. Um, um, how I understand the Shema today is very different than I understood it when I was a child. Shema Yisrael, listen, listen, Israel, or listen, as Reb Zalman might say, insert your name here. Shema Yisrael, Shema Lyle, Shema all of us. Adonai Eloheinu, the thing that we claim as God, the thing that we reverence, Adonai Achad, is the oneness, the mutuality, the shared responsibility. Dare I say, on Shabbat Hagadol, the democracy. If you look, if you look at the way the Shema is written here, and this is the way it appears in the Torah, you will see that the ayin here and the dalid here are written bigger than the other words, spelling out the word aid, or aid means witness. This affirms, I believe, that our role at this time in history is to be witnesses to the truths of the values of the Shema. Listen, you people Israel, the thing that we reverence is the oneness. And today we have the opportunity and the responsibility to stand with others as witnesses to the oneness, to the mutual responsibility, to the sense that we are all in this together. As Reb Zalman would say, the only way we can get it together is together. Judaism is supremely a responsibility culture, and that responsibility extends both within and beyond the narrow boundaries of the self, the family, the narrow community. In Pirkei Avot, chapter 3, Rabbi Hanina demands that we pray for the welfare of the government, of the place where we reside. This echoed the prophet Jeremiah's request to the departing Jews on the eve of their exile to Babylon. This, in part, has made us a loyal, creative minority, albeit sometimes temporary, wherever we went. And to be very perfectly honest, it is in our very particular interest to make sure that the values of oneness, the values of democracy are safeguarded. So do you think that Hanina and Jeremiah were thinking both that we pray for the others in our community, and in doing so, we are protecting ourselves? So I encourage you today, Shabbat Hagadol, the Shabbat before Pesach, no King's Day, to find your Korban and bring it into the world. Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher koach.